So what is going on, guys? My name is Zero and welcome back to some more Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville here today on the channel. Later today we are getting ourselves an update which is adding some balancing changes, some bug fixes and a few surprises. Well, today we are going to be diving into those patch notes. If you want to check them out, I will leave the link down in the description. But we're going to be going through absolutely everything today, and the few surprises which are coming are very, very exciting. So we're going to start off with taking a look at the first surprise, which is a brand new turf takeover map which is coming later today called Tourist Trap Island. Now, with the name of the map, that's making me think that what Major Sweetie was kind of teasing to us about mentioning water and inflatable armbands, that's going to be this new multiplayer map. Of course, it's called Tourist Trap Island, so we are on an island for some reason. That means that we're going to be surrounded by the ocean. There's probably going to be a lot of water, swimming pools, palm trees, beaches, things like that is kind of the impression I'm getting. So I'm kind of curious what this map's going to look like. Hopefully it's going to look amazing. And of course, every turf takeover map does have its own unique minigame at the end, so I can't wait to see what that's going to be all about. Maybe something to do with coconuts or palm trees or something like that. I honestly don't know, but what do you guys think of the map name? Tourist Trap Island. That honestly makes me feel like the plants are going to be attacking and the zombies have set up some kind of traps on the island, but I can't wait to check this out, and that will be available later today. Another feature which is coming to the game is called AI backfill to multiplayer games. Now, we don't know what this is exactly, but from my guess, let's say you're playing Turf Takeover and it's 12 versus 12 and a few of your teammates leave the game. That means it's going to be about 12 versus 10. So what's going to happen in those scenarios is that those two players which left will be replaced with AI characters. So you're still going to have 11 other teammates on your team. It's just some of them are going to be AI players. Now, as soon as a player joins the game, that AI will be taken out of the game and replaced by a player. That's honestly how I can see it happening. That way, you're not going to see potential empty lobbies when you're playing at different times or in different modes, which might not be as popular at the time. And of course, if people do leave, well, then the AI can kind of fill in those slots so the teams stay a little bit more balanced. They've also updated the landing page and onboarding tutorials. I think they're doing something with the home screen, not exactly sure on everything like that. They have added some item bundles to Ux as well, so you may be able to buy a full bundle of items together for a discount. The revive stat has been updated to count for all players who participate in reviving an ally, not just the first player who begins reviving them. So you may get XP for that as well if you're the first one to start reviving and someone comes along to help you, because obviously the revive happens quicker. That's going to add us one revive on those stats, and they may also get the XP for that as well. This new update is also going to be adding a new legendary upgrade for Super Brains called the Brainium Basher 9001. It's going to be the final reward in the festival in July. Now we're going to be moving on to something which I do not agree with. I saw this and I was like,
no, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
They've increased the sprint speed, and they've also allowed characters to strafe faster. This is something that I'm very, very confused with, because you all know we have a huge issue with sprinting right now. If people are being shot, they sprint, they run away, it's hard to hit them. You have people jumping left and right and stuff to try and strafe and dodge bullets. Yeah, they're going to increase the speed that people can sprint. So obviously, yeah, you can get to objectives faster and stuff like that, but you can also sprint away faster. And you'll also be able to strafe faster as well. So this is something which I'm very confused with. I feel like a lot of the community are going to be annoyed about this and a little bit confused of why it's happened. I'm the same. I feel like they should have toned down the sprinting, not buffed it up a little bit. But, yeah, we'll have to see exactly how much of a difference it does make, because we do have some breakdowns of the stats a little bit lower down. They've also made the battle arena groups more random, so you should be going up against a lot more different people than the same people over and over again. And they've also done a huge bunch of bug fixes as well, and I'm sure there's some changes which are in the game which they have put in these patch notes, but as a summary is the ones that they have mentioned. There is a fixed issue with explosions going through walls. They fixed an issue where the trolley message constantly plays. That's good. They fixed gestures not being allowed to work for the wizard. They've fixed broken reloading animations. They fixed the piercing power upgrade. they fixed the Wizard's invincibility bug. The two-headed dragon upgrade should come back to players who've unlocked it. They fixed a bug where Thornapart wasn't keeping orbs after being revived, and they've also fixed the Super Brains not being able to use the shield depending on your aim settings. So that's quite a few bug fixes right there. They're going to affect some people, they're not going to affect others. I've never seen the invincibility bug for the Wizard, so that one personally I've never noticed. But that's a whole bunch of bug fixes. Below this, we have the detailed characters breakdown. There's changes to some of the characters' movements, speed, blah 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 blah. But the common changes in the game that they have changed is, first of all, sprinting. You used to get a speed multiplier of 1.425. You now get a speed of 1.5. So it's only a slight difference, but nonetheless, it is an increase. With the movements, they've increased the strafe speed multiplier from 0.8 to 0.95. They've increased the backwards speed multiplier from 0.5 to 0.75, so you should walk backwards a little quicker as well. They've decreased in-air speed from 8.35 to 7.75, so if you're jumping in the air, you're not actually going to move as quick as you used to. And they've also added in deceleration. With revives, the revive can now be cancelled. They've increased the area that an ally can be revived from 4 meters to 4.5, and they've increased the mobility when reviving. So you used to get a speed multiplier of 0.5, you now get 0.65, so you should move a little bit better. With explosions, they've changed explosion distances on all characters' abilities, so min damage does not go through the walls. There is more details down below. With the melee characters, which is Chomper and Super Brains, the melee attacks will now be considered critical damage, so they can earn critical vanquishes. And with the upgrade hard target, they increase the speed multiplier from 1.15 to 1.25. But it no longer stacks with the Sunflower's quick egress upgrade. Now we're going to move on to the character balancing changes across all of the characters that are changing. I'm not going to go through all of these, but what I'm quickly going to do is show you all of the balancing patch notes that you can check out. You can pause it and read them if you want to, and then I'm going to come back and highlight probably some of the more important ones. Okay, so some of the changes that I'm going to be taking a look at. First of all, the pea shooter's pea cannon has now turned into automatic fire, so you don't need to keep pressing the trigger to fire. You can simply hold the trigger down and it will keep firing. The Chomper has also got automatic fire on his primary weapon as well, so you don't need to keep pressing the trigger. You can just simply hold it down. They've actually increased Nightcap's damage from 17 to 18, but they have decreased the width of the projectile. And it also seems like they've kind of buffed Fung Fu as well, so I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with Nightcap. Citron's had a damage increase in his primary weapon, and also his EMP can now cancel Space Cadet's Gravity Smash, can destroy Engineer's Bullhorn Swarm, and also cancel an All-Star's Sprint Tackle, which is very interesting. Rose's Arcane Enigma, they have reduced the speed multiplier from 2 to 1.5, so characters aren't going to get that much of a speed boost. And they've also reduced XP from applying speed boost to AI allies from 10 XP to 1. So it seems like all of the Glens in Mount Steep aren't going to be seeing as many roses as they have been over the past few weeks. With the Imp, the explosive escape radius has pretty much gone down quite a bit, especially the inner blast, but they've also decreased the refresh time of Bionic Bash by 5 seconds, so hopefully that's going to be used a little bit more. Super Brains has had a lot of changes with a lot of his abilities, but one bug which has been fixed is the toggle aim on his shield wasn't working, where you could literally just toggle, where you press the trigger and it'll just constantly hold his shield out until you press it again. You don't need to keep holding the aim button down, so at least that now has been fixed. With Acorn and Space Cadet, once they do decide to transform into Oak and the Space Station, with the transformation, they are no longer mortal for a second or so, so that has been taken away. And with the Wizard, the Co-Star ability, the XP you earn from Vanquishes, the XP has been reduced quite a lot. Of course, that's just a summary of some of the patch notes. I did scroll through them a little bit earlier on if you want to go and check them out. But there we go, guys. That is the patch notes for the new update coming later today. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. There are a few things which I'm a little bit confused about, particularly the sprinting and even the buff to Nightcap, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But the big thing, guys, we are getting a new turf takeover map which will be here later today called Tourist Trap Island. Can't wait to check it out. But nonetheless, though, guys, hopefully you did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you do drop a like down below. My name is Zero, and I will catch you all in another video.